Kristina, welcome to the Marketing for Business podcast. You're one of our clients. I've been chasing you to come on this, but just as we were setting up, there was a ding from Shopify, and you're making sales while you're here. Arctic Sammy, outdoor gear for dogs. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
When did you start it?
We started in 2021. actually.
21.
Yeah.
So that was like just after, was that the COVID period when you kind of?
Yeah, it was kind of like just before the first or second lockdown, like we were in between.
Yep.
I remember Googling whether we are an essential business or not. Is a dog lead essential or not? We weren't quite sure.
I think near the end of COVID, we were all essential businesses.
That's definitely how it felt like.
Yeah, we just wanted to get out.
Yeah, exactly right.
Wow.
No.
But the idea, where did the idea come from that? Like, was that something you had burning, like, and wanting to create something, or did the idea actually come up from COVID? Like, were you thinking about this when we starting to think about this
I
business?
think it was kind of a mix of many things. Like coming from Germany, we have a vast variety of brands and products you can get for your pet. There are stores as big as the warehouse here, but
true.
just for pets, really.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how I grew up with my family pets. And
Yeah.
then when we got out here and we got Loki, our first dog, there's just really not much around, to be honest.
And that's so true, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you guys saw that opportunity.
Yes.
And I remember one of the first conversations we ever had. Look, and full disclosure, you're a client of ours and at Digital Influence, which is the agency behind the podcast. I remember we had that first kind of talk, and you were planning this business, and it was really interesting to see and hear what you were going to do. But then it wasn't until probably a few more years later that you come back, and it was amazing how much action you'd taken. And I think this is the coolest part of this conversation is your journey, and we're going to talk about it as, I think this will be inspiring for people because you started this from the grassroots.
Correct.
You started it in your garage, right? And
Correct.
and parts of it are still in your garage.
Yeah, basically all of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And now you're but you're growing, and like it just shows you if you have a vision and you have determination, you can achieve something. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You said something on the website. I think it's really, really interesting. Collect memories. It's the only thing that will last you a lifetime. Is that what this product's about? Allowing, because you go to different places. You go into the mountains. You go for big walks. The gear that you created for outdoor gear for dogs, is that allowing people to go on these adventures with their dogs and stuff?
That's exactly right. And that's exactly the reason why we do what we do, and also why we do it the way we do it. There's always different ways how you can live your life with your dog. And I would say that a big amount of people are just having their 8 a.m. walk and then their 5 p.m. walk and then maybe a little bit of park like on a Saturday morning or something, and that's kind of about it. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there's also a bunch of people that want to do more.
Yeah, true.
They want to look back and be like, oh, do you remember that day we went to like Lake Benmore and we had this beautiful sunny day and went kayaking and then jumped off things like that. It's just memories that will stick with you, and that's what matters most in life in general.
And that's part of your vision around creating the I guess it's kind of like dog activewear, isn't it?
It is. It actually really is. Yeah.
And so I guess, that is, part of who you are and your philosophy, and you wanted to share that with other people, right? And when you come to New Zealand, there's just, look, we've got the beautiful outdoors, but we didn't have what you guys have created.
Exactly.
Did you ever think at one stage, like, getting started, man, this thing is hard? Because I want to get into the mindset of you guys, because I know you and Stefan, you've worked hard, you've created something, but I also want to inspire people here, because I think a lot of people give up too early when they're starting a new business. And I get it, but did you ever think of like giving up when you were creating this business, or was your visions just so strong?
Giving up I don't think that giving up in general is a bad thing and means failure.
Yeah.
Not at all. There's definitely a moment in life where you need to give things up for the greater good.
Yep.
So it's not a failure. Sometimes it's even progress and growth.
Yeah.
But now, if I feel like I kind of felt deep inside myself that this is something that people are interested in, not just me, because I basically created those items for myself.
Nice.
Because I wanted them. I wanted to have something that keeps my dog closest when we go camping, but allows enough freedom. So we designed the base camp tether, which is one of our products. I designed those for me first and foremost. But then I felt like, there is quite a few people that are interested in it. And as long as I had that feeling, any obstacle that I kind of found in my way was not too big to say, nah, I give up. But there were a few.
Did you have a background in design? Because like some of the stuff you have created is quite innovative.
Yeah.
Like, was that your background?
No, not at all. I'm actually a trained chef.
There you go.
So I guess creativity is obviously a big part of being a chef, but it's a very small part if you look at the profession itself. It's mostly hard work. It's 90% hard work, 10% creativity probably. So I'm not from a product development background or anything like it. But I guess Stefan and me are a good mix between style, function, durability, like all these things. Like everybody brings something onto the table and on paper, and that kind of becomes the product, and it works out well. So
it's interesting because so when you started thinking of the designs and what you required or wanted, like were you starting to look at other things and seeing how you could make them, or you were starting to piece things together? Like how were you building the prototype? Because I think a lot of people, and then you get the prototype of what you want, and then when you're starting to see, other people starting to ask you, well, what's that? Like, how did it all work? Because it obviously took off because people started buying what you've got, right?
Yeah. I guess it depends on the product. For example, the rope leashes that we make, I had a very specific idea how I personally want the leash to be.
Yep.
And so I just did it. I just made it from scratch, really.
Yep.
But other products that are...
Were you talking to other people about that as well? Or is that just, this is how I want it to be, and it works and it's functional, and this is pretty much how I wanted it? You weren't talking to anyone else who had a dog?
To be honest, feedback for me is the key part of everything we do.
Nice.
If I wouldn't listen to that, I would be nowhere near where we are.
True.
Where we are today.
Good.
So, but then also the base product that we design, if I am convinced that this is a great product, then I feel like that's already 80%.
Yeah. Nice.
And once I have that finished prototype, then I give that to our brand reps, ambassadors, testers, friends, family, whoever has a dog that's keen to test it. And if I get good feedback, then we are 90% there. And then there's always a little bit of tweaking where I'm like, you get some comments from people or friends or whatever, where you're like, you think about it, do you want to add that or remove that or whatever, and then you just settle on the final product.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because dog lovers love their dogs, and,
sure do.
And you've brought your dog in here, and the team love Loki. They would be prepared to give you feedback though, right? Like you're in a market, like they would want you to be improving that product, or they'd want to be telling you, hey, we love this, the dog loved it, blah, 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 blah. Were they pretty open to giving you feedback?
I think it kind of depends how invested the customer is in the products themselves. Some people just want to have a dog lead, really. They don't overthink it.
Yeah.
But then there are other customers that have very specific ideas themselves, how
That's
they
a
would
good
want
point.
it to be. And these customers are mostly the ones that
Yeah.
give you pretty good feedback.
Yeah.
We have some amazing customers that came back with a whole list of things that they wanted us to think about. Not even asking us to do it, but just as a little...
That is so good.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I'm super grateful for whatever input we get, whether that's positive or negative or just ideas. All of that is so important to get out of your own head, really, and look at the big picture.
Because you're in a market inside a market, right? Like, because you could just buy a dog leash at the Animates or whatever, right? Like you could just, and it could just be that. But you are actually, you're in a specific market of people that really care for their dog, that really want to their dog to be part of their lifestyle,
Yeah.
and take care of them, which is, like that. So that, it makes sense that they would give you feedback, and it makes sense that you would listen to them, which I think, for a business owners, this audience, they are business owners. I think one of the key things you can do is be listening to your customers, but at the same time, take the feedback, but you don't actually have to implement everything what you just said. You can listen, but also have your own instinct around, especially when you're creating a product, right? When you're creating something that is 80% right.
Yes.
I like that, like, yeah. So your journey, so you started, and you started to get some feedback, and when did you kind of start to realize, oh, this might be something?
That's a good question.
Because I think that's the most exciting part, right?
It is exciting, but also scary, because once you see something take off, you have to make that decision. Where is this going to go? Are you going to quit your safe full-time job that you actually quite like and venture into something very unknown?
Yeah.
Or are you going to, what are you going to do? When was that? I think there was a time about maybe even 2 years later. I've been really doing that just for fun and for friends for the longest time, for maybe about a year.
Yep.
And then in the second year, I invested a bit more time, and every night coming back from work, I would spend all my evenings throughout most of the nights to work on it.
Yep. So did you have orders to fulfill, or were you working on the product?
Both.
Oh, wow.
Not that many orders back then. But you could see like a consistent flow of orders coming through. And I thought, okay, that's quite cool. So obviously you put more focus onto also selling your products, not just making them for yourself. Because if I make it for myself and friends, I don't need to worry about packaging.
No.
But once orders come in, you're like, should I put some nice packaging around it? And these things, they come. But I guess once you have a consistent amount of orders that are coming in that you can rely on, that you feel comfortable with, this is kind of like the point where you're like, okay, I could really now, I have something solid now that is scalable.
Yeah.
Do I want to scale it, or do I want to keep my full-time job?
And look, I've been there. I was in that decision. I remember like making my first sale online. It was an Easter Friday. And I'm going to tell you the date because I would date myself, but I know it was Easter Friday. And it was more than 20 years ago. And I remember going, wow, this is interesting. Like I put something out there, and just like you had a ding before, I got a notification, and I was like, man, this is incredible. There's something to this, right? And then obviously you build and build and build, and then you had to make that decision. And I remember when I made my decision, I remember getting some advice. And they said, build up 6 months worth of income, and then, if you're replacing your income, then you can leave, right? I wish I didn't do that. I wish I'd just just quit, because sometimes I probably built up too much money in the back. So I was a bit lazy going into my business, when I went into my first businesses, When did you know though? Like, did you like know that it was time to leave? Did you go part-time or anything like that, or were you just like, right?
Yeah, no, actually I did that. I went from full-time to part-time. It was a tough conversation with my former boss, because I loved my job. Absolutely loved what I was doing. And so it's hard to leave something that you actually enjoy, and all the people that you work with as well, not just the job itself.
I was the same. I loved what I was doing, and it wasn't what I wasn't leaving because I hated the job. I actually hated the era I was in, but that was despite of it. But it was like, it was like you're kind of like torn a wee bit, right? Like so you go part time.
Yeah, so I went part time, and I guess the moment where I made a call that I want to put all my energy into Arctic Sammy and leave my job is when I realized how much mind capacity, like brain capacity of my day is going into this business.
True.
I was thinking more about that than my actual workplace. And I also felt that that's not quite right. So
you wouldn't want to cut your finger as well. Like, you're a chef.
Well, that's, definitely. But then also, like, you have to commit to something 100% or don't do it at all. I think that's a very important, always been an important thing for me personally. And I felt like I'm not 100% focused on my current job anymore, as much as I loved it. And all day long I was thinking about Arctic Sammy. So I thought, okay, well, it already takes up all my my mind. I should probably put it in, go all in, really.
Yeah. And do you remember when that was? Like, when did you leave full time or part time?
That's good.
A couple of years ago?
Yeah, about 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe.
2.5 years.
Yeah. Gosh, that went by
Yeah.
fast.
It goes fast, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But and did, like, other people that you were working with, because I got this, oh, what are you doing? You're leaving to run an online business and stuff. Do people like, because I think my poor old dad, God bless him, passed away, but he never understood what I did, eh? And I was like, my brother's a mechanic, he got that, but like, marketing, what's that?
Yeah, you can't really grab it.
Wizardry,
right?
or whatever. Yeah. Did you, because you were starting an online business or you're already having sales and successful, and you're creating this product? Did people give you a hard time, or did they understand it?
Actually, not really, thinking back.
No.
I had a lot of difficult conversations when I first became a chef, when I made my apprenticeship, because everybody expected me to go to university back in the day. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Switzerland and do an apprenticeship. And everybody's like, really, you want to become a chef? Like, why? It's so hard. And I remember that being quite difficult, and obviously put some doubt into you, even though you were pretty excited in the beginning. But now when it came to the business, I feel like all my family, my friends are on the other side of the world.
True.
They don't really have an idea of what's going on here in the first place if they haven't really been here and seen it. So they couldn't really tell whether that was a good or a bad decision, because they just couldn't really, they didn't have feeling for it. So no, actually, people were quite interested to hear what it is.
Yeah.
But
And look, what you've done now, of 2.5 years later, how good, have you ever taken a moment to look back and go, wow, this is what we've done, what we've created?
I've actually listened to a podcast that was just about that topic, that you need to stop sometimes and just look at it. Yeah. And also enjoy and celebrate the victories, which, to be fair, is, I guess, most business owners don't do enough.
Well, we don't do it enough, know. I think lucky enough to be in a group in the US, and I'm going to go over there. One of the best things is looking back. What did you actually achieve over the last 4 months? It
feels good too, doesn't it?
Well, it feels good to look back. Yeah. And I know even our team, we do it. We have a coach that comes in once a quarter, and the leadership team looks back, and he makes us reflect. And it's like, wow. Some people are like, I know Olivia, when you starts listing off stuff, you're like, man, she's done a lot, right? Like there's, and it's so good to hear, like you actually capture that moment. So it is a gift I think every business owner could use too, right? Looking back of where have you come from? What's happened in the last quarter, and then capture those moments and celebrate those moments.
Yeah, celebrate those moments. That's important.
And you don't have to do crazy stuff to celebrate, but it could be just, like, hey, I'm grateful for a couple of things, and then letting other people know about it, and then go for a walk, or going out for dinner or whatever it is, like really, really take the time to, anchor in those moments, because otherwise they walk on by, right? And you're on to the next thing.
Yeah, or on to fixing problems.
Yeah.
Because you're fixing problems all day long, because it just comes with...
That is business.
Every business. It comes with every business.
Yeah.
And it takes up so much time and energy that you sometimes just don't even think about to reflect, because you just want to go to bed, really.
Yeah. Hey, knowing what you know now about setting up and creating a product and setting up an online business and selling online, what are some of the things? What are some of the key, I guess, things that you've learned that if you did it again you'd implement? You got anything that comes to mind, apart from get a great marketing team behind you?
I think you have to have the right mindset.
Yeah? Talk to me about that.
Well, endurance is a big one.
Yep.
You have to wake up in the morning. You have to pull through the day. And you have to get the job done every day.
Yeah.
Without exception, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you can't just put your feet up and say, oh, I'll worry about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or I do that over the weekend, because it is too much to put things to the side, especially in the beginning when you have 10 full-time positions. You're your own bookkeeper, your own accounting team, you do your own marketing, you do your own Facebook, like meta ads, like all of that. And all of that requires so much time.
Yeah.
And so there is just no time to sit and enjoy. You can enjoy later.
Yeah.
That is in the beginning, endurance. Showing up.
Yeah,
showing up is people underestimate that hugely before they start their own business.
You wouldn't if you could see the future for those first 5 years,
Yeah.
you wouldn't. Like,
That's
probably
right.
the first 3 years, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I remember I'll be up till 2 a.m. trying to figure stuff out, and you made me shiver because they used to have a thing called Banklink because I was my own bookkeeper. I was, doing the ads, running the bookkeeper, writing the copy,
Yeah.
meeting clients, running the strategy sessions, and I remember I had to do this thing called Booklink. This was before Xero. And it was so confusing. And I'm reasonably good at numbers, but this accounting thing and coding and all this, it was such a manual thing. And I used to shiver every time the accountant would send it to me. And I'd be like, oh no, it's that time of month.
Oh, God.
And you'd have to go through it. And like, I didn't have that many transactions. It wasn't like, probably like your business had a lot more transactions. But it made me realize, looking back, it makes you realize, man, that was tough, right? It was, and I remember I was living on a credit card for a long time there, especially when you even started employing people, paying through wages through a credit card and stuff like that. It was
scary.
Yeah, it was, I don't find that part scary. I just knew this is not going to last if that is a thing I'm going to keep doing, right? Like, so yeah, endurance is a good one. And I think around that today, I always talk to people about, hey, you actually have to choose your hard, and because it's going to be hard anyway. Yeah. So do you want it hard? You actually have to choose it. How hard do you want it to be? And, I would not, and probably like you, I would rather have gone through that hardness to get out the other side though, right? Now, it was worth it. Yeah. But sometimes at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning when you're still working, you're like, oh.
Try to look good at 7 again.
Oh man. Well, especially because probably like you're getting paid more for doing a lot less working for someone.
Yes. And that was exactly what I was also facing in the beginning. It's like, it's going to take a long time until with so much more work and worries and stuff as well. Like you get going on a holiday is the best example. Yeah. Like you just take time off. Yeah. Like you just ask your boss for leave and he's going to approve it and you book your flights to wherever you want to go and off you go. But that's not the case anymore when you're self-employed. Everything becomes a bit more complicated. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we didn't really have a holiday for a long time. Yeah. Probably in the first 5 years of any holiday of any significance anyway, maybe even 6 years. But at the same time, I love the word endurance and persistence. I think that's because if you can have that, you can have an edge in the marketplace. If you're prepared, if your mindset, and I'm so glad you brought up mindset, if you've got a great mindset and you work on your mindset, you can stay in the queue. And if you stay in the queue, you get to the front of the buffet. And that's what I love about it. I
love that one.
So many people leave. They leave the queue. And they wonder why they never get to the buffet. Yeah. It's because they leave the queue, right? So I say mindset. What's another thing that you would be if you were starting?
To be honest, when we talk about being persistent, there are so many things that will come your way that you just don't know anything about. You don't know how to reconcile statements in Xero. I had to look up the word even. I didn't even know what it meant. Yeah. So there are like so many things that are new to you. Maybe you don't know how to make an Excel spreadsheet. There are plenty of moments where you feel like maybe I'm not smart enough or maybe I'm not good enough or I don't have what it takes. But if you have endurance and the right mindset, if you fight your way through and take things not as a problem, but rather as a challenge.
Yeah, I love that.
You can actually learn how to use Excel and make a spreadsheet. You can learn how to use your accounting software. If for you it's not a chore and a burden, but a challenge. Yeah. You have to turn everything into a challenge. That's what you when you're a chef. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bloody hard job. Especially like in the places that I worked at. Like it's incredibly tough and long hours and perfection every day from the moment you walk in until the moment you close up. Yeah. But if it's a chore, you're going to hate that job. Within a couple of weeks, you're gone. Like, why would you do this, right?
Yeah, you don't have the pain threshold for it. Yeah. But if you have a different mindset, like you said, turning problems into challenges, and you look at it as a challenge. Yeah. Because like today, I know if I wanted to learn something, I can go to YouTube. True. If I want to know how to reconcile my bank account, I can go to YouTube. Someone would have created a video on that, right? well, when we were getting started, some of that stuff wasn't around, right? So you had to figure it out. You had to go and find someone to figure it out. But the thing that you've just said there is it is all figure outable, right? Like you can figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to have the endurance, the persistence, and the desire to want to figure it out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's,
That's
where did you get your mindset from? Because like you have a very strong mindset. Where did that come from? Did that come from family, friends, books, mentors? Just yourself?
Never even really thought about that.
Yeah.
I think I had a great childhood.
Yep.
I had a pretty difficult time when I was a teenager.
Yep.
Some things happened that were very hard for me to deal with, and I found myself at one moment in a position where I had to make a choice.
Yep.
Whether I'm gonna pull through and do it, or I'm just gonna really give up.
Yeah.
And that was a big moment when you make the decision to just not give up, not give in to all the big dark black hole that's opening in front of you. You could just jump in and it's the end of it, but you just don't.
Yeah.
And once you're able to do that, and once you come out the other side, it is true. It does make you stronger, but it also changes you in a good way. Even though what you went through might have been very negative and impactful, but what happens, how you change your mindset is something you carry for the rest of your life. So that was one big turning point, I guess. And then, well, after school, being a chef was just intense. Absolutely crazy.
I was lucky enough to work in the kitchen a few times.
So you know.
Yeah, I did my 751, 752. I did hospitality management.
Cool.
I didn't complete it because I decided to like the other side of the restaurant versus the back side of the restaurant.
Fair enough.
Meaning I like drinking at the bar versus... But it was intense, right? Like I remember being at Polytech, which is called now ARA here, and being on the... and that's why I probably love cooking barbecue for lots of people. But I remember being on the grill, and that was intense, right? Like your orders are coming at you, and your medium rare, well done, and they're just coming out well done. Sorry to anyone eating there while I was cooking. But now I understand how to touch, how to feel what a steak would be like and all that sort of stuff. That comes from experience. But you're right, it's really intense, right? So you either, once again, I think Rachel says it best here, we put people in the deep end, and when they come here, and they either swim or sink. That's what the kitchen's like, right?
Yes, you either swim or sink.
Yeah.
And you're either going to love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
Depending on whether it's just hard work for you or it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's a great mindset to have. I think everyone could learn from just having that. It's either, you could take everything as a challenge, because if it's a challenge, you rise to that challenge, right?
Yeah. And once you finish it, you feel so good about yourself, because you haven't just finished a chore. You climbed the mountain, and now you're on top looking down.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing. It's the thing I want for the listeners. Like, if you're going through things, when you succeed like you did, and you had that turning point, you bank that. And you go on to the next one, you bank that, and then you go to the next one, you bank that. And all of a sudden, this thing up here becomes quite strong, and it starts to back you.
Yes.
And I always say to young kids, especially like when I'm coaching and stuff, hey, you don't need to believe in yourself right now, because you need to know that I believe in you. And that's what at some stage, other people, if you can just believe in other people, then once they start, like you did, started going, oh, I'm good at this, oh, I can do this, I've done this, and all of a sudden you, through your own knowledge and through your own experience, have become so strong with a mindset that understands it's a challenge. It understands, if I'm persistent, I get where I want to go, but that has to come from within, but also at the same time, just someone believing in you at the start is a massive, massive thing for people, because I've met so many people that don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
But just if there's and if you have someone in your life that you think you need some of that, just let them know that you believe in them, because that's a game changer, because then they'll start to believe in themselves. And that's the turning point, when they start to believe in themselves and they start to see the results and the fruits from their consistent actions.
Yeah,
which is what you guys,
and there's some amazing talents out there.
Yeah.
That they're probably never going to even do what they're really talented in, because they just lack that. They don't have anyone telling them, you're great.
Yeah.
go for it.
Go for it.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that's the key.
And it's a quiet little hey, So you made a choice. You've rocketing along, and your mindset is keeping the business going. What else did you learn though? What did you start to learn about the technical side of, you're running a Shopify, you're starting to run business, you're starting to, orders are coming in, and you're starting to go, man, this is getting bigger than we thought it was going to be. Like, how did you start to manage that? Like,
It's still ongoing.
Yeah, I get it, but
it's an ongoing challenge, not a struggle. It's an ongoing challenge to grow in a way that nothing falls off the cliff. You invest the right amount of time and also money at the right thing at the right time.
Yep.
That's a challenge.
Yep.
To know, are you gonna buy new shelves for the garage that will make everything appear bigger than it actually is? Or are you gonna invest in a new tool on your Shopify website that could bring in more sales?
Yeah, true.
What are you gonna do first? What's important? You sometimes want to do the things first you're excited about.
Yeah.
I'm always excited about Shopify apps and stuff like that. Love to try these things out. But is that really what we need right now? Or should I invest my time and money elsewhere where it's really needed to also back up the business to be able to grow?
Hey, it's 2026. You're listening to this podcast and you've probably heard of AI. So here's what I want you to do. We've created a free playbook that'll actually help you with AI and help your business get recommended. So all you need to do is go to the show notes or the link that's in this video, and I'll send you this playbook for free. And how do you go through that from a decision-making process?
I discuss a lot with Stefan to see if we're on the same page. He has a very different mindset, which is great to see his opinion. So that's awesome. I sometimes ask ChatGPT.
Nice.
Gotta be honest.
Ask Gemini, you'll get a better answer.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll definitely give that a go. But it can help. It can help to give you a different point of view that you haven't even thought about. You just ask, what do you think I should do first? That's what I'm thinking about it. Can you organize my thoughts and then come back to me? And you read that, and then you can obviously make up your mind whether you agree or disagree with that. But it's if you don't have anyone to talk to because you feel like no one understands you, no one even knows what you're talking about. Sometimes you find yourself in these moments in the business, or you find yourself being very much left alone sometimes.
Totally.
So now with a tool like ChatGPT, that's one good thing that came with it, is to have it as a bit of a partner.
Yeah, as a bit of a partner.
Sometimes.
Well, if you train it well and you get it the right inputs from the right people that you're trying to get, you can actually have it mentor you in areas of a business,
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful part about the world that we live in today. There's a constant loop of feedback can be had. You got to ask it the right questions.
Yeah, you have to ask the right questions.
And also you have to be prepared to act on what it says too, right?
It's true, yeah.
Or act on what you have agreed together.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's important. You shouldn't just outsource your thinking to it. And I like that you've said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Here's my thoughts. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
That's very, very clever way of doing it, because otherwise people just tell me what to do.
Yeah, but I don't want that.
No.
I don't want ChatGPT to tell me what to do. I want a discussion partner that I lay out all my thoughts and then get some feedback on what I just said, rather than tell me what I should do because I'm stuck here.
You're smart because you're using it as your thought partner to your thought leadership.
Yeah.
And that's clever. Lots of people are just using it as their thought leader. Which,
I think that's scary.
Yeah, that is scary.
You shouldn't do that.
No, but that's people naturally want to shortcut stuff, right? So tell me about Shopify and you obviously using that and how you've kind of integrated that into your business, and obviously running an online business, you've got to use the tools, and I think there's so many of them. But what's your experience with using Shopify?
I quite like it. It comes with its own challenges, obviously, but every platform does.
Yeah.
I guess having the market share still at the moment, you just have so many apps that you can get. And then there are plenty of developers that can work and develop your own app or your own whatever you need for Shopify. So that's great. Obviously, there is other things as well. There are more coming. So let's see what happens in the future. Maybe there's going to be an open source product that might be more suitable in the future. But yeah, I can't really say anything negative about Shopify. I haven't had too many issues other than the things that everybody struggles with. Yeah.
It's amazing how technology, though, I guess that's my kind of question around, is technology has given you the ability to be online a lot quicker and a lot easier than it ever was, right?
Do you remember in the 90s how hard it was to just create a website?
Yeah, seriously, that's why I was up at 3 a.m. Like, we were using a program, was 2 programs. One was called Dreamweaver, and it was so technical, and the other one was called OpenSite Pro, and OpenSite Pro was good, but it was clunky as well. And I would be up literally till 3 a.m. trying to change something, trying to do something, and it would just then, So I am blown away now how, literally you can be online selling, within days, if not minutes, sometimes, if you have a product or an affiliate product.
And I guess Shopify makes it so easy in the beginning with drag and drop. Really, you just put in your photo, your title, your description. And then you can basically already start. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. But then if you are striving for perfection in the very beginning, you're never going to launch.
No.
Because it's never going to be perfect. You have to be there at least 80-90%. And then just go for it and see what comes back.
So
and build it up from there. And Shopify gives you a great system and network to just put something out there. See how it goes, tweak it. I mean, we've tweaked our website, I don't know how many times. It's just a normal process. Yeah.
So good is good enough, I'm hearing there, when you want to get something ready to sell. Is there anything that you, like, can you remember any, like, drastic failures when you got your website up and stuff like that? Like, is there anything that people should look out for? I remember a couple. I remember, like, doing a launch, and this is when you actually had to buy bandwidth, and we didn't have enough bandwidth, and the site just crashed.
Oh, no.
And it was, like, really embarrassing because we just, no one, like, I don't know, we just didn't think of it. We didn't have a checklist to go through. And I remember, like, this first sales were coming in, and then nothing. I was like, what's wrong? And, like, the site was down. It was like, what?
And you sometimes don't even know.
We were on a shared server. We could have bought more. Like, we could have bought more server space the hour before. But no one looked at it.
But no one looked at it, Look,
we were the experts.
I feel like there are a bunch of things that can go wrong. You can't be prepared for all of them. I guess if you really want to be safe in some ways, it's great to have a developer that you talk to and be like, look, if I ever have an urgent problem, are you going to be there to help me out?
Nice.
24/7, Monday to Sunday, I need to be able to contact you if, excuse my French, shit hits the fan.
Because at certain times of the year, like, your site,
no one is available.
But also your site, like, gets spikes of sales, right?
Yes,
like,
exactly. We once had a day where the entire website, it was still there, I could see it, but there was a white screen covering every page.
Wow.
So when you would scroll, like, in the background, you could still see the blurry side. So it was still there, but we had a white box over everything. And I absolutely panicked because I'm not a developer, I'm not an IT person. I don't know how to fix these things. So I found myself in a situation where I needed help, but I didn't even have anyone to contact. And in those moments, regardless how your sales are going, you are willing to pay everything necessary to get it fixed immediately. So it's a good thing to have a dev ready to go if you need one.
Why is that? Why is it that you want it fixed immediately? Is it because of the sales, or is it because you want the customer experience to
Both.
be?
But more so, to be very honest, it depends. If this is Black Friday we're talking about, obviously that's more.
Because you already have buyers that are ready, like the script is being flipped, If you look at marketing, people, there's a whole bunch of people never going to buy or not ready yet. Then there's people ready to buy, then there's people not ready yet, and then there's people that will never buy.
Correct.
In those sales times, it's kind of like Christmas time, that gets flipped and there's more people ready to buy, right? So you need your stuff working, right?
I feel like if you have a buggy or a faulty website or anything like that, the experience the customer have is immediate mistrust.
Yeah.
Especially if
Yeah,
somebody
true.
doesn't know you. If somebody doesn't know you. If
Yeah.
it's a customer
Oh.
that has been ordered 10 times,
Yeah.
they might even pick up the
Yeah.
phone and be like, hey, Kristina,
Hey,
just been on your website.
Yeah. What's going on?
You guys want to check this out.
Yeah.
But if it's a new customer, cold audience, never even heard of you,
You're dead.
saw an ad, clicked on a website, and there's a big buck on it,
Yeah.
you're done.
You're done.
They're never going to come back.
Yeah. Waste of money.
It's like a bad restaurant.
Yeah.
Do you give a bad restaurant a second chance?
No.
No one ever does.
No.
You have one shot.
That
to get
Nelson
right.
restaurant, you know who you are too, by the way. You're my business again.
You've got one shot.
You have, right?
Especially for cold audience, especially in the internet. Like
Yeah.
on the web, there are thousands of brands where you can buy a dog lead.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing there is, 80% good is good enough, but be prepared on the things that matter. Like the things that, like the developer, having that person on hand, having all those things that possibly could go wrong. Make sure you have a checklist. Make sure you have a plan for that sort of stuff, because that's what's going to stop you from, making money and making really good sales days when sales are on.
And it also keeps you from trying to fix something yourself that you are not capable of fixing.
Because then you just cause more issues,
You
right?
cause way more issues
Yeah.
that might need forever to be resolved. And
Yeah.
if you have that one trusted person,
Yeah.
whatever it costs, contact this person, get it fixed immediately, and have peace of mind and move on with your day, because
Yeah.
there's always other things to be done too.
What do you love about your customers?
I love how they're just totally obsessed with their dog.
Yeah. That's
Because
cool,
I
right?
can relate to that.
Yeah.
Can absolutely relate to that. I love that. I love how people are rethinking whether something is comfortable or suitable
Yeah.
for a certain activity or a certain breed. Or
That's cool.
The other day, somebody asked me about a Samoyed, same dog breed that we have,
Yep.
Loki's Samoyed as well. Which color is not going to match the fur? If, because Samoyeds, they get mad at fur all the time.
Yeah.
And so she said, well, how do you deal with this? And she totally wanted to get the right product for her specific pet. And I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love how people are invested in these
Yeah.
things. They get a dog, and it's not just something they have, but they actually look at it wholesome.
They want the best for it, right?
Yes, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
I love hearing from people that have great plans. The other day, somebody did the Otago bicycle trip
Yep.
with their dog.
Cool.
So I was blown away when I saw the pictures. I'm like, oh my God, she did that. I always wanted to do that. So I wrote a blog post with her together
How good.
to find out how did she do it.
That's cool.
She had obviously something to transport the dog when it was tired. Like, what did you get? How did you tether it inside? There was a bunch of questions I had.
Yeah.
And I thought our audience would be interested to hear about that too. So yeah, I love these people. I love hearing the stories and seeing the real world.
Yeah. That's cool though, because you're curious enough, because you love your audience, that someone's gone and done something cool that you think, man, I would love to do that. I bet you there's a whole bunch of other people that would want to do that as well. So you go and find out. Now you've created a blog post, and people, there's going to be a bunch of people that might not have taken their dog, but now they are going to take their dog. How cool is that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They've never even thought it was
Possible. One lady thought it was
there you
possible, and then
She did it.
Yeah.
And now people are going to follow.
And she's using your product, and your product becomes a byproduct of that whole story.
Yes.
And becomes part of that story.
Yeah.
And then people start to, well, I'm going to buy that product, right?
Yeah.
You're selling without even selling.
And to be fair, New Zealand is different with their dogs and their pets than what I'm used to from
Yep.
Switzerland, Austria, Germany, all the places I lived in,
Yep.
where your dog naturally comes along. It's a normal thing. It's a very normal thing to go to dinner, and you don't even think about not bringing your dog, because the majority of places are going to be dog friendly, and only this one odd place might not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's perfectly fine to do that. You bring your dogs on ferry boats, on holidays.
I think it is changing here a little bit.
It
though.
is changing.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest excitement for me, and looking into the future from my
Yeah.
business as well, because I get to see that people are actually rethinking that now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think your dog has to join along with everything you do, because there are things that are just not enjoyable.
Well, the dog probably wouldn't want to go to the movies, would it?
Yeah, it's not going to be enjoyable to just
No.
sit there and be still for
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's just not really cool. I mean, there is one outdoor cinema where you can hear and
Sure.
see where you can bring it out. So I
There
know
you
about
go.
that one. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are some moments where you don't need to, but just planning your activities differently and including your dog is just something that seems to be becoming more popular, which for me is pretty normal, if that makes sense.
True.
So that's very exciting for me to see, and I'm totally looking forward to more of that.
I want the audience to capture something here, though, and hopefully they did. Love on your customers.
Yeah.
You know, because this is and find out and be curious about your customers, because one of your customers, Kristina's customers, has come and told her about an experience, and then all of a sudden, together, you've turned it into an article and a blog post, which is marketing, and sharing that experience with other people because you want other people to enjoy it, right? This is marketing. Like, this is the way good marketing can be done, right? And it starts with, you know, really loving your customers and being curious and happy about how they're using your products and services. I think it's genius. But it comes from caring first, right?
Yeah. Having a serious interest.
A serious interest,
well.
yeah.
You know, I had a friend once, another chef actually, and he's like, hey, you're doing like e-commerce now, and that's so cool. I want to get into that space as well. I'm like, oh, cool. So what do you want to do? And the answer was whatever makes money.
Yeah.
And I told him, I understand where you're coming from. You want to get out of your job and you want to be self-employed. And the thing that everybody always says is, oh, I don't want to work for someone else, which itself always sounds negative, but it is not really.
Yeah.
But lots of people think that way. So I told him, like, look, if you have no passion for something, then don't even start. It is going to be too hard. You have so little knowledge.
Yeah.
And where is your stamina coming from if it's not at least a field that interests you?
Great advice.
So for the sake of making money to go into e-commerce, forget about that.
Yeah.
The chances that you fail are pretty high, not because your product is not good enough or your website. You can be technical and great at all of these things, but if you don't have the drive for it and the passion and if it doesn't put a smile on your face when you see it in the morning, when you see your products, when you talk to your customers, I think this is such a key point to success. And if you've got this, money will follow. It will follow, but do not
100%.
focus on it in the beginning. It's not the end goal. The end goal is to grow something, make something, do something.
Yeah.
Money will
You have to
follow.
be passionate about what you're doing. You have to have a drive for a lot more than money, because if you're just doing it for money, you'll be disappointed.
Yes.
You know, because
especially in the first years.
You'll be really disappointed because you're working harder than you ever did in your job. And you'll realize, oh, I should have stayed where I was because you were actually making more money there. And I think it's a great point. You know, I really believe Zig Ziglar probably said it best for me. You can have anything you want in life if you just help other people get what they want. And it really resonated with me, right? If you create a great product that helps other people get what they want, like going out on great walks with their dog and or the fur's not getting matted because of what you've, you know, like that gets other people getting what they want, right?
Yeah.
And if you can help them, then you, as a byproduct, get what you want, right? You get satisfied customers, you get great reviews, you get great returning customers, you get great referrals, and a byproduct of that is you get a successful business that makes money.
Yes, exactly.
But
you have to also give first.
You've got to give first, right? And
also give away free advice, give away free items.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a happy customer. Because also, depending on which industry you're in, people mingle and people talk a lot. Especially, you can imagine pet people, dog owners.
At the dog
they meet
park.
at the park.
Yeah,
exactly.
totally.
They love talking about their dog. So if I have a terrible customer service, that's going to spread like a wildfire. If I have a great customer service, that's also going to spread like wildfire, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you have to give
We know
first.
that, right? Yeah.
You will receive eventually. And people are so concerned about stuff like warranty claims or returns or anything like that. My advice would be just don't be.
No.
Don't be. Make sure you've got a happy customer, because if you've got a happy customer, chances are high you will have them for life. He's not going to buy once. He's probably going to buy 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And if you launch a new product, they're probably going to be super excited about it and consider getting the new product as well, without you having to try to get more cold audience in and try to get new customers and they only buy once. They're kind of a little bit disappointed and move on. It's expensive and it's hard to always try to get more customers.
But that thinking is because you're not doing it for the money.
Yes.
You're doing it because you want to create an experience.
Yes.
When you think about marketing, what do you think? From just this conversation, I can tell that the product is part of your marketing too, right? Like what you've created is part of your marketing. But what do you also think about marketing? Because I know you guys do quite a bit of marketing. You do email marketing, obviously Meta. You're doing video content. You're really putting your brand out there. What is it? How do you think about? Because a lot of people think of marketing as an expense. For you, I'd love to know because, I'm pretty sure you see it as a different way, right?
It's a huge expense.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's performing well, it's always going to be one of potentially, depending on the industry you're in, but one of the biggest expenses you have to carry.
Yeah.
But what's the best product worth if nobody knows about it?
Yeah. Many.
You could have developed the cure for cancer. If no one knows about it, people won't get cured.
Yeah.
How sad would that be?
Yeah.
That's basically how I think about it. You have to put yourself out there and put aside a good amount of budget for that. And if you came up with a figure, put something on top of it just in case. Because you want to be able to be flexible. If things are running well, you want to increase budgets wherever you can. But if you don't have that cash flow, if you don't have it, then you're stuck.
You're stuck.
And you never want to be stuck. If you've got a great product, if you have put everything in place in order to scale, and marketing is the only reason holding you back, that's very painful.
Yeah. I've met a lot of entrepreneurs over the years, and I vividly remember one, and they had a great product. And apparently it was far superior than the competitor. But the competitor was beating them on market share. Yeah, market share. They had such and like they were selling equipment into these gaming consoles all around the world, right? And so they knew that they were getting beaten. And they come to us and asked us, what's going on? And I was like, well, seriously, they've got better marketing. We've got a better product. I said, it really doesn't matter anymore. Like if no one knows you have a better product and no one has seen you, then you're never going to have consistency of message. You're never going to have frequency of reach. You never become relevant. You never give your product the opportunity to become relevant to people that could or can buy your product because no one knows them. I was in an office this morning. Their competitors are kicking their butts. And they're like, we're better than them. I said, yeah, but not in the eyes of the people that care. Like it's the saddest part when you see a good product never gets off the ground because the owner thinks a good product is enough.
Yes. But that itself shows that the product must be good because the owner, like the creator of this product, is so invested in the product itself that there is no mind capacity for the marketing because they're so convinced as well, and rightfully so. It might be the best product on the market, but it's not worth much if you are not taking care of marketing. But that's also the next point. If you've got a mediocre product, you don't put too much time and effort into that. You've got more time and effort to put into marketing. That stuff is probably going to sell better, even though it's unfair because the person that has a better product should succeed. But that's unfortunately not the reality.
It's not the reality of this world, right? The challenge with an inferior product, though, is marketing puts fuel on it and you can end up with more problems, right? Because you need to fix your product. What I do find, though, is people with an inferior product generally will quickly fix their product once they see there's more marketing too, right? What's your, like, I know you've used Loki and animals in your marketing as well. And I think that's brilliant. It's a brilliant move. Obviously, you sell to dog owners. Dog lovers love dog lovers, and I think it's a real skill to be able to create content around that, and I think if someone could learn from that, have a bit more personality in your marketing. You guys are doing some really cool videos.
But that's also thanks to you. If it would be just me, you would never even see my face on any Meta app because I'm just generally not the type, let's say it like this. But you guys made it so clear that the business we're in, the time we're in, like if you look at the whole, like the whole Arctic Sammy, then that's what we need to do. And so I said, yes, you guys came over and shoot and did films and all sorts of things. We've shot so many ads and they are going pretty well. So you have to rely on and just trust your marketing team as well when they say that's going to be what you need, then
Yeah.
go all in, bite the bullet, and jump
What I
in front of
what
the
I love
camera.
about that though is like, you know, we have a good marketing team, and the team that look after you guys are exceptional when it comes to
Yes.
the idea creation, the thinking behind it, the psychology behind why we do this and why we're doing that.
Exactly.
But at the same time, your willingness to get involved, you know, like so many times people want to work with us, but they don't actually want to do that work either, you know. And so we're like, well, actually, we can't work together because it's a partnership, right?
Yeah.
We bring our skills. You got to bring parts of you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the business owners that can get through that win.
Yeah.
You know,
It's pretty personal, don't you think?
it's very personal. But you know what? I think
In a good way.
in a good way,
Yeah.
because I think that's people buy from people. People buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
You know, so I looked at this years ago. Okay, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. What is like? Like is about character, right? So share your character online. You know, you have a bubbly personality. You care for your dog, etc. So you share that character.
Yeah.
Sharing that character, people, you know, get to like you, you know, and so, that's no's about character. You know, what is it you want to get known for? I say to most business owners, you should get known just for being useful and helpful, you know?
Yeah, true.
Like if you're known for being useful and helpful, that's a good character trait, right? That's why we created the hashtag Celebrate Your Victories, because I want to be known as a character that celebrates client success, my own success, my team's success, the country's success, right? Then there's like, and like is about chemistry. And the beautiful thing, I always say, dog lovers love dog lovers. I remember talking to a real estate agent about this, and she said to me, you know, I said to her, you know, when you get a listing, how do you know you're going to win that listing? She goes, oh, well, if there's a dog there, I'll go straight up to the dog and I'll pat the dog and I'm loving on the dog before sometimes I've even spoken to the owner. And I'm like, do you realize what you've done there? And she goes, no, I just love dogs. And I said, yeah, but tell me about the listing. Do you get the listing? She goes, generally, if there's a dog here, I'll get the listing. And I was like, do you understand why? She goes, well, not really. I said, I like dogs. So I said, yeah, but the person that comes in next, if they don't like the dog, if the next agent comes in and they don't like the dog or they don't go and see the dog, what does that tell the person?
Yeah.
You know, the other person, because dog lovers like dog lovers.
Yeah.
So the chemistry is there.
Yes.
So
it's an instant connection.
all of a sudden I like you.
Yeah.
Because you like my dog.
It's true.
And it's so true.
Yeah, it's so true.
So
Yeah.
you win that listing. And I said, you need to start using your dog in your marketing.
Yeah.
And it's a simple thing, but a dog lover will see you with your dog,
Yeah.
and indirectly, because they love their dog and they have this psychology going on in their head, it creates this chemistry that you can't break.
It creates trust as well,
Trust.
doesn't it? If you see someone genuinely loving their dog,
Yeah.
you trust this person.
Totally.
Because you love your dog as well, and that's what you expect everyone else to do as well.
Because the trust part is about demonstrating credibility.
Yes.
So demonstrating credibility is, you know, if you're doing this in your marketing, you'd be demonstrating, you know, what you do in the video. You know, you're like, he is on using the equipment. He's out on a canoe. He's out at the beach. He's out. So all of a sudden you're demonstrating credibility there. The agent, if they're with the dog, they're demonstrating credibility. They might be putting in a sign with the sold on, but the dog's there and stuff. It demonstrates credibility. In that indirect way. So you're building know, like, and trust. And people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Correct.
Creating character, you know, or being of character, the character that, and this is the beautiful thing about video. You have the opportunity to create your character today. You know, you can be that character. And I always say to people, be useful and helpful. Then you create that chemistry so people like you. The beautiful thing about video speeds up that whole like process. Because it's like you know, I don't watch the news, but I would always say to my mum, and I remember seeing one day with mum, the news person, she goes, oh, that's the news. And I didn't even know who the person was. But mum knew, right? Because mum's there every night, 6 o'clock, watching the news. So that person's on video becomes very, very familiar. So they think they know that person because they've seen him every night.
Yeah.
Video's the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, people are on social media reading and scrolling their phone. The way the algorithms work these days, if you looked at a dog product, you're going to see a lot of dog products, right?
True.
So how do you know who you know, like, and trust? Well, it's that repetition, and video is the way to do that. And then and then building credibility. You know, once again, showing up again and again and again and again and again. You know, it's a formula that really is so powerful. And I wish more businesses would do it, but at the same time, only do it if you got a good product. I would say to that.
That's definitely true.
Hey, you still get a buzz from making sales though. Like, I could tell when that ding went off. Like, it's pretty cool. Like generating sales. Obviously, businesses run on sales to some degree.
It's a good question. I mean, like everybody that uses Shopify knows that specific sound that you get on your phone or tablet or wherever when you have a sale. In the beginning, this is going to give you such a boost, right? And if you get 2 in a row, you're like, oh my God, was that like an error or is that actually true? Like, it gives you such a boost. It still gives that boost, but the boost turned from total excitement to a feeling more calm and relaxed because I've got big plans.
Yeah, nice.
I've got huge plans.
Love that.
They're all mapped out and planned out. And then you see the investment for it, whether that's a new space you need to rent, whether that's more staff you need to hire. There's lots of different things. And you want that. Like, I want to create that and I want to have that product or whatever we're working on. And so every sale that I do brings me closer to it.
Nice.
Because once you're like, I feel like once you are at the point where you can pay yourself a salary that you can live on without owning crazy stuff, let's say like that, then stay like this. Don't go and whatever money you make, don't go and spend it. Don't go and pay yourself a bigger salary. If you have a salary that's enough to live on, then stay like this for a while.
Yeah.
All the extra turnover and profit you create, put it right back into the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's where also many business owners kind of take the wrong path. Because it feels great seeing that money and you kind of have dreams yourself. You want to get a new car or a house or a boat or whatever it is. But you're too quick with like getting these things, trying to also like reward you for your hard work because the last 3 years you haven't made any money and worked until 3 in the morning. But the reward shouldn't be your boat or like your new car, whatever. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
But the longer you kind of wait and just you live a normal life, the better this is going to be for your business.
When you think about vision then, because, obviously you have a vision, you have a plan. How much time do you spend working and planning on that vision? Because
not enough.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be honest, not enough.
But you are obviously thinking about it though, because
every day.
Think
about it every day, but you ask for how much time I actually allocate to work on it. Not as much as I want to. There are just so many things that need my attention every day. Also, something you need to work on is trying to allocate these jobs, see what you can get someone else to do for you.
Yeah.
Do as much as you can yourself, obviously, to save the money. But there's also a point where you can and should outsource some jobs.
Yeah, I definitely look at that and have looked at that through the whole of this business. Where can I employ my weakness? Where's an area that, hey, I'm okay at, but it's, if I look at my strengths versus my weaknesses, where can I employ my weakness? We have a bookkeeper, full-time accountant now. Like, that's the day that went was huge for me because,
can you imagine?
because, like that was, and I think it was one of the first things to go. It was like, because that bank link thing used to just give me the heebies. But employ my weakness. Now I had a meeting with my accountant yesterday. We talked structures. We talked, shareholding plans. We talked, scale of the business plans. I love that. I love having that conversation now versus, all the things that I was doing just to reconcile stuff. Like that is not the thinking I want for a business owner. So that was the decision, right? Employ your weakness. And I remember doing it. I remember coming, I remember the next month, and I was like, oh wow, I don't have to do that bank link thing.
How good.
Like, how good.
How good.
The sweat wasn't pouring off my head. But
that's how I felt like when I joined you guys.
Yeah, nice.
The first moment where I didn't need to think about my newsletters anymore. Like coming up with the idea, designing it, writing the caption, having all discount codes ready, whatever it involved. Imagery, content, videos, all of these things, they just sucked up all of my time.
Because I think...
And then I'm not good at it. And that was exactly my issue. I mean, I am, but I'm not into it too much. But Like I know how to write a great caption, but
Yeah.
it's not something that I get excited to do.
Yeah.
So you're putting it on the back burner and the next day on the back burner and then you're never doing it.
Yeah.
And that's a
And
huge
that's when
problem.
things start to snowball because
Yes.
you stop doing it
Yeah.
because of that procrastination.
Yeah.
And other things come to take up your mind share.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most freeing part too. It was like, well, I remember when I let the accounting side go, there was more mind share for other stuff. And you had the same thing.
Exactly.
You outsource your marketing, become a marketing partner. You're still involved in the marketing, but you're not involved in the doing of the,
The time-consuming
stuff, right?
Exactly.
And you pay and you I know you work closely with the team and work on the results on a monthly basis and constant communication. And that's what a partner should be doing, helping you drive your vision forward when it comes to marketing, right? But it's a big decision to let stuff go. And I think that's something as a business owner, more business owners need to look at, what's my, not my real weakness, but what's something that I should be letting go of that someone else could be doing.
Yeah, definitely. It opens up, like you said, it opens up space to
think strategically, to think other things.
Or maybe like get onto a job or a project you had years ago that you just never really started because there's just no time for it.
No time for it.
Yeah.
Such a great chat. I can't believe we've been going an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
this is awesome. Hey, and I think we definitely get you back because there's lots more to unfold. But what would you say to the entrepreneur out there looking to start? Like, what would be your advice?
What would I say? First of all, I would say great. Good on you. It's awesome to have drive in life. It's awesome to have a vision. It's awesome to just be willing to do something, right? Get out of your normal daily routine and just start a new adventure is incredible. And that itself is pretty rare, to be honest. If you now have a passion, any passion, something you are so passionate about, you could talk for ages and everybody already wants to leave the room and you're still talking. That's your passion. Find that. If you've already have that and you know it, then have a look if you can make this passion and turn it into some sort of a business because you are never going to be tired talking about it. You're always going to be able to relate to your customer. You're just going to love it. You just want to wake up every morning and talk about and do the things that you're passionate about. And that itself, in my opinion, already helps. Is a big chunk of making something successful. And then once you make the decision, you make the call, be determined, show up, and go through it. Just do it.
And I guarantee you, if you do this, you'll fall in love with your customer. Which you'll then create something that'll grow beyond you and your wildest dreams. Kristina, this has been a fantastic conversation. Where do people go to find out more about Arctic Sammy?
Our website, arcticsammy.co.nz. We're also on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube if you guys want to check us out.
Fantastic. We'll put all the show notes. We'll put all that information in the show notes as well, and we'll be tagging you in on the videos and stuff when we do it. Look, I really appreciate you taking the time to come and have this conversation.
Thanks for having us.
I want to know how many sales you've made while we have been having this conversation.
I muted my phone.
I'm going to count the first one. But no, it's fantastic. Look, you deserve all the success you're having because of your passion for the customer and for dogs. I think it's fantastic, and that's coming from a cat lover, so
that's
my team will appreciate this.
That's a big thing.
And I just think your mindset, and it's been really cool to for you to share your mindset because I think that's the key. Personally, it's the key for me in business. If you have a strong mindset, if you have a desire, you have persistence, you have that endurance, you can weather most storms and you can win where most people will quit.
Yes,
As I said, if you want to get to the front of the buffet queue, you just have to stay in line. Jim Rohn is one of the greatest ever. I remember him saying it. I've never forgotten it. I was like, wow, because most people quit. Most people go out, come back in, go out, come back in, and then they go out and they never come back in. And it's just, if they just stayed there, they would have got enough evidence that the market backs themselves, people back them, and then boom, they're away. All right. Appreciate your time. Your job. You got to go and share this podcast. I want you to share out of this episode. This has been awesome. some really good insights. And if you've listened this far, make sure you share it with a business owner or share it with a friend that's looking to start something up online. I know lots of people are wanting to start things up online, and maybe this is the pivotal point of what they're doing and how they're doing it, just getting some clarity around what it's going to take to be successful. So go out there, share this episode. Until then, have fun, take action, and as always, remember, celebrate your victories.